Welcome to the finale and results of Listen to Reality. You have been with me for 12 weeks, as every other week we've watched a new episode with a new player telling their whole detailed story of their game. Now we get to see how that shook out score-wise as a whole, who got the most points each round, some fun facts about the rounds, and who won the game. You've been waiting 12 weeks. I've been waiting 12 weeks. The players have been waiting 12 weeks. But it's time to finally reveal the winner of Listen to Reality Season 1. Here we go. So, round 1 was greed. And everyone had discussed simply going for 1 point because it guarantees 2 points. And essentially, or it either guarantees 2 points for everyone who stays on it, or guarantees even points. If nobody deviates, and yeah, so they basically meant they would all be on a level playing field, which good for them. They tried to work around it. Did it work? Yes, it did. Ray, Kane, Patrick, Noah, and Sloth all stayed on the normal path and took 1 point, while Tim tried to go for 5 points. And sadly, as Tim was the highest number, he ended up with 0 points, while everyone else's score was doubled and they got their 2 points. So, there's not much to see, but I've included a chart for everything just for I love the stats. And as you can see, Tim is sitting there at 0, while everyone else, covered by Sloth's blue dot, is at 2 points. Now, moving on to round 2, this was Get the Word Across. This was the one where they had to get their phrases and say it to the players without them guessing each other's phrases. And there were various tactics used, and this was where we saw the real divide in alliances show up, which you can hear about going back and watching the first 6 episodes. But ultimately, here's how this round went. Ray was able to score 3 points, getting her total to 5. Kane was also able to score 3 points, getting his total to 5. Patrick only got 2 points, bringing his total to 4. Noah and Tim both scored 7 points, bringing their scores to 9 and 7 respectively, while Sloth got 6 points, bringing his score total to 8 points. Looking at this in placements, we currently have Noah in first with 9 points, Sloth in second with 8, Tim in third with 7, Ray and Kane tied for fourth with 5 points, and Patrick in last with 4 points. And then here is the chart for this round. As you can see, some more deviation. Ray and Kane are tied, so that's why you only see the orange dot. But all of the dots are there. They're spreading apart a little, and something we'll see is they will spread apart more and more as this game goes on. Now, round 3. That was split or steal. For each respective player, they had to choose whether they would split points or steal points. If they split points and the other player split points, they would both get 2. If one stole from the other and the other split, the stealer would get 4. And if they both split, they would get 0. Some players figured that naturally it would be best to steal, and only steal in this round, no matter what deals you make. Some of them tried to be more peaceful. One of them specifically saw the divide forming and didn't like how this game was going down, so he blew up. And that was Noah, and that was something discussed in every episode. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the episodes. Anyways, let's see how round 3 shook out. Alright, so Ray and Noah both got 0 points, leaving their totals the same. After Noah's blow up, everyone did go and steal from him. And then Ray also had most people steal from her. Meanwhile, Kane and Sloth were both able to get 8 points in this round, which the more detailed results on that will come out in a post somewhere. But they both got 8 points, bringing Kane to 13 and Sloth to 16. And then Patrick and Tim both got 6 points, bringing Patrick to 6 and Tim to 13. So, if we're looking at results right now, we can see Sloth is still leading with 16 points. And now Tim and Kane are tied for second with 13. Patrick would be in fourth with 10. Noah is in fifth with 9. and Ray is in last with 5 points. And this can be seen very well on the chart. We once again have a tie currently between Kane and Tim. The purple is covering the orange, but you can see them both approaching that point. And again, they're getting more points. We've got some close to 20. So we're seeing them spread apart a little more. But round 4 was rankings. And rankings, that was a really interesting round. And because of what happened in this round, it was very significant in how the game actually ended. So in this round, we got all the average rankings. And I'm not sure if it's just because of the smaller number of players, or if it's just because of specifically how they ranked each other. But last place was very clear. Then there was a two-way tie for 4th and 5th. And then there was a three-way tie for the 3rd through 1st. I did not expect a tie. I did not have a tiebreaker planned. What I ended up doing, 4th and 5th was, 5th and 4th was 5 and 10 points respectively. Took the average, gave them both 7. So, because they both got the average ranking, this might not have been the best way to break the tie. And maybe in the future, if it happens again, I'll have another way. But this is what I chose to do for this season. So, took the average of the places and gave them that points. For 1st, 2nd, 3rd, that was 25, 20, and 15 points respectively. So I gave them each, 20 points, yeah, because that's the average. I was doing the math, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that not the average? Did I mess up? But no, I gave them each 20 points. So, yeah, this was a very significant point in this game. Anyways, seeing those results, we have Noah getting 0 points, leaving him at 9. Kane and Patrick both got 7, putting Kane at 20 and Patrick at 17. And then Ray, Sloth, and Tim all got 20, putting Ray at 25, Sloth at 36, and Tim at 33. As you can see, this is the most points Ray has gotten all game. So yeah, just a fun fact, because that brought her all the way up to 3rd place. So we can see how big this round was score-wise compared to the first 3. Currently at this point, Sloth is still leading with 36, followed by Tim with 33, followed by Ray with 25 in 3rd. In 4th was Kane with 20, in 5th was Patrick with 17, and in last place was Noah with 9 points. Here's how the chart looks. We have first major crossing as Ray jumps up 3 places, but everyone is still relatively close. This game is nowhere near over yet. Moving on to round 5, after, again, the trouble with some mathematical issues with the rounds, we had reverse greed. And that was them giving points to each other, but whoever was given the most points would get 0 points. And that really hampered one player. And that player was Ray. Ray was given, I believe, 14 points. And that was the most points, so she ended up getting 0. Here's how everything else shook out for that. So as I said, Ray got 0 points. Noah just wasn't given any, so he got 0, and he stays at 9. Kane was given 2 points, brings him up to 22. Sloth was given 8 points, brings him up to 44. Tim was given 9 points, brings him up to 42. And Patrick was given 12 points, most points of this round, and that brought him up to 29. So, we're seeing some placement jumps here. Well, only one, but Patrick jumped both Kane and Ray. And otherwise, Tim got 1 point closer to Sloth. So, when we look at the graph for this, we've still got Sloth in 1st, followed by Tim in 2nd, followed by Patrick now in 3rd, Ray in 4th, Kane in 5th, and Noah in 6th. So now for the big finale, the last round, our final time revealing the winner. We're going to find out who won this game. We're going to drag it out as long as we can. So, final results. Round 6 was touchy subjects. They had a bunch of questions they had to answer about each other. Those questions and full answers will be released at a certain point. There were 10 questions. Whoever answered like whoever answered what the cast thought most, whoever got it right for each one, and the right answer being what everyone majority said, you would get 4 points per correct answer. So theoretically, there were 40 points in it, and theoretically, you could gain 40 points on someone if you got all 10 right and they got 0. Did that happen? I don't know. We'll find out soon. But all I'm saying with that is even though Noah is sitting at 9 points and Sloth is sitting at 44, technically, Noah, and with that being said, anyone could still win. So here's how that's going to work. We're going to go through the results and reveal it from last to first. So I'll tell you how many points Noah got. We'll adjust the placements. Then Kane, then Braid, then Patrick, then Tim, then Sloth, and so on. This is exactly how Eurovision does it with the audience votes, and I love this format of revealing points. So we're going to start with Noah's points. Again, 10 questions. Each question you got right was 4 points. So Noah needs 36 points to take the lead. Noah earned a total of 24 points. That brings him to 3rd place. So now we're looking at Kane. Kane needs 24 points to take the lead, or 6 or more questions right. In this round, Kane earned 20 points. It did bring him tied with Tim, but unless if Tim gets 0 right, then Kane will be below Tim. But next we have Ray. In order to take the lead, Ray would need to get 20 points or 5 out of 10 correct. Ray scored 40 points in this round, getting a perfect score, maximizing the score she could get for round 6, and this puts her at 65 points. Officially, we have our first change in the lead since like round 3. But that brings us to Patrick. Can Patrick take the lead? How far will Patrick make it up? Patrick would need 36 points to tie, it looks like, but 40 points to take the lead. Patrick got 32 points, putting him in 2nd, just behind Ray, 61. We have 2 players left, Tim and Sloth. As we can see now, Ray is currently in 1st with 65, followed by Patrick with 61, Sloth with 44, Tim with 42, Kane with 42, tied for 4th, and Noah with 33 in last place. Next up is Tim. In order for Tim to take the lead, he needs a total of 24 points, or 6 out of 10. Tim got a total of 32 points, meaning Tim is currently in the lead. To take the lead and win this game, Sloth needs a total of 32 points. It's really only 31, but you can't get anywhere between 28 and 32. It's either 28 or 32, or a number divisible by 4, given as 4 points per correct answer. Sloth needed 32 points to win this game. It is between Tim and Sloth. One of them will win this game. The other will be among the remaining 5 who lost this game. There is no prize for the winner. This was a really fun experiment to do. We played this out in a week and produced it within 12 weeks. I'm so glad that of all the shows I tried to do these past 12 weeks on Open Mic Podcast, that this is the one I was able to finish. And there will be more info about that soon. But it is time to find out the winner of Listen to Reality. Sloth needs 32 points or more, 8 out of 10 or more. Sloth scored 36 points, putting him at 80 points, meaning Sloth is the winner of Listen to Reality. It's only 6 points ahead of Tim, who is only 9 points ahead of Ray, who is only 4 points ahead of Patrick, who is barely 21 points ahead of Kane, who is only 9 points ahead of Noah. I absolutely loved hosting this. There will absolutely be future seasons, and the seasons and points and challenges will get better as this goes on, and I'm super excited. Thank you for listening to Listen to Reality. I will see you next time. But first, here's a little chart. These are the final results. As you can see, Noah was leading after round 2, then Sloth led for the entire time up until the end. And that has been Listen to Reality. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. Um, there will be an update on the future of Open Mic Podcast and the future of this channel very soon. I appreciate all of you so much. I appreciate the players so much. And I think that's all I got. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.